Hi guys, my name is Emily and I'm a tutor for Chegg.com, and today we're going to be talking about the product rule. So basically the product rule is super easy. This video is going to be short, sweet, and to the point, and we're not going to get into it in too much depth. We're going to stay within the realm of just the product rule, although there are many shortcuts involved in calculus. We are just going to be working with the product rule. Alright, so what is the product rule? Well, I already mentioned that it is a shortcut. So basically you're going to be using the product rule when you're multiplying two terms together, as in such. And this is just a really general idea, but you're going to have f of x is equal to g of x times h of x. And where g of x and h of x are two terms being multiplied together that are unlike. So how would we derive this? Well, in the case of the product rule, we would be using that f prime of x, which is just the derivative of these two terms, would be g prime of x times h of x plus g of x times h prime of x. So this is going to be our product rule. And it's okay if you don't understand it yet. It's a little hard to explain until we just get right into an example. Alright, so let's look at the problem. F of x is equal to 3x minus 2 times 7x plus 4. And we're going to be doing this in terms of the product rule that I wrote out for you guys. So we're going to call 3x minus 2 g of x and 7x plus 4 h of x. Alright, so let's think about this. If we weren't to know the product rule, how would we do this problem? Well, my first instinct with terms like this that are being multiplied together is to just multiply it out. 3x times 7x, 21x squared, minus 14x plus 12x minus 8. And so you're going to get 21x squared minus 2x minus 8. Alright, so then you can just take the derivative of that product. I'm assuming you guys know how to do this, but just in case, I'll just overview it. You're going to take the exponent, multiply it by the 21 to get 42, and subtract one of those x's away to get just x instead of x squared. So you're going to have 42x. Then you're going to take the exponent on this, which there is an implied 1 there, and multiply it by the 2. 2 times 1 is just 2. And subtracting one of the x's, you are just going to have 2. And then this, of course, is 0. So your final answer will be 42x minus 2. So that was pretty easy. We didn't use the product rule there, but still a pretty easy way to solve the problem. So let's go ahead and look at the product rule. So with the product rule, we're calling this g of x and this h of x. And I'm going to go ahead and write out the product rule for you guys up here, just so you have it in front of you. So if you recall, the product rule is going to be g prime of x times h of x plus g of x times h prime of x. And that is going to be the derivative of two terms being multiplied together. So how are we going to apply this? Well, we're calling this g of x and we're calling this h of x. So let's just go ahead and follow the rule. So we're first going to start out with g prime of x. So the derivative of this, we're going to take that little imaginary exponent off of the x, multiply it times 3. 1 times 3 is just 3. Subtract an x, you're still going to have 3. And then this, of course, is going to be 0. So the derivative of g of x is just going to be 3. And then you're going to multiply that times h of x. And h of x is just 7x plus 4. And we're going to add g of x, which is just 3x minus 2, and multiply that times the derivative of h of x, which in this case is just going to be 7. So we have that imaginary little 1 there. Multiply that times 7 is 7, subtract an x, and we're still going to have just 7. And then this, of course, is going to be 0. So this is your derivative of this function. So let's go ahead and multiply it out just to see what the simplified answer is going to be. So we have 21x plus 12 plus 21x minus 14. And we're going to get 42x minus 2 as our answer. And it's magical. We did, in fact, get the same answer in each case. So I just wanted to do it this way just to show you guys that you do, in fact, get the same answer and show you that it does work. So you might be thinking, well, why use the product rule? Why would we do that when we can just multiply it out? It actually was quicker in this case to just multiply it out, especially explaining the product rule. So why can't we just do it this way? Well, you can, but just a warning, calculus gets a whole lot more complicated than just these two terms being multiplied together. You're going to learn a lot of rules. There's the quotient, there's logarithmic rules, power rules, trig functions. It gets a lot more complicated, and it is a lifesaver to know the product rule. So yes, when you have two simple terms like this, you can just multiply them out, make it a simple derivative problem. But when it starts getting a little bit more complex, this is the way to go. So I'm not going to get into it anymore. I don't want to make it more complicated by adding in different rules. So we're just going to stick to the product rule. But I hope this video helped you, and happy studying.